Right everybody, hello and welcome along to our Matchday 10 EFL score predictions. So obviously we've got a huge schedule of EFL this week. Basically every single team in the EFL is in action over to today and tomorrow. So we're going to just run through all the games, discuss the scores, and basically everything else that's important. So going through, we're going to kick off with the Championship. First game on the schedule is Barnsley versus QPR. I've got to think this has probably got a draw written all over it. Obviously Barnsley narrowly defeated the Wolves Saturday. And QPR obviously drew 0-0 as well. I think both teams, this could be a draw, and if I think a team could win, I think it'd be QPR who could nick this. So I'm just going to go with a simple 1-1 draw in this game. Let's go into the next game. It's Brentford versus Derby. Obviously Brentford, big win against Bolton on Saturday. Perfect momentum builder for them. They're going to look to try and kick on against the Derby side, who've hit the rails at the moment on a bit of a wobble, but I think they'll have enough quality, and I do think they'll win this game 2-0. Let's go into the next game. It's Bristol City versus Bolton. I do look at I fancy a home win in this game. Obviously Bolton are struggling, lost against a side who hadn't won a game either before Saturday. There's a big problem there as well. They're not scoring goals, not creating enough chances really against a Bristol City side who are probably going to have too much quality for them. I'm going to go for a comfortable, easy 3-1 home win. Let's go into the next game. It's Burton versus Villa. If Burton now can unsettle Aston Villa, I think they'll get a sort of positive result here. It all depends on how Villa can settle. A tight little ground, the Pirelli Stadium, it's going to be hard for them with the home fans on their back. It's a small ground. If they can adapt to that, they'll go on to win the game. And if they can't, I could see Burton winning. So I do think Aston Villa will win. I think they'll win it 2-1. It'll be a tighter game, and it will be dependent on whether Villa can adapt to the small surface that Burton Albion like to play on. Let's go into the next game. This is on TV tonight. Quarter to 8 kick-off is Cardiff versus Leeds. I'd like to see Leeds win this game. I'm a big fan of what they're building down there. They've got a good manager down there who come in unknown, which is always a good thing. He brought in some good players. They're playing really well at the moment, playing with plenty of confidence and fearing nobody. And also Cardiff not doing too bad as well. Good win Saturday as well. They're doing really well. They're in the top echelons of the table. They'll look to try and do well in front of the TV tonight. And I just think Leeds will just edge this 2-1. They're going to bring big support down from wherever they go. They're going to bring it big support down in Cardiff. 28,000 expected down at Cardiff today. I heard earlier on. So it'll be a fantastic game with a Leeds 2-1 tight win. So on to our next game. It's Hull at home at Preston, and I do think Preston will win this game. They've got plenty of quality, and I think they're a solid point up Millwall over the weekend. Not too bad, and I do fancy them to go to Hull, who are a bit nervy, haven't had the best run of results recently. They do need a win as well to push them away from that bottom half, the relegation scrap, and I do think Preston will have too much in hand and win it 3-1. Going to our next match, Middlesbrough Norwich. This is something you'd probably associate with the Premier League, maybe, if you're looking back a couple of seasons ago. It's a good fixture. I don't know about Norwich. They're a bit inconsistent for me, as I've said, and I think Middlesbrough got a good point against us on Saturday at Fulham, kept in the game till the end, got their goal right at the end, and they'll probably feel the better of the two sides. And I do think they'll go on again against the Norwich side, who got a point at home to Bristol City 0-0. Not the best result for them, and I do think Middlesbrough will win this 2-0. Let's go to the next game. It's Fulham at home at Nottingham Forest. Obviously Fulham, we drew on Saturday, not the best result we could have wanted, struggling to see out games, struggling to score goals, to kill off games has been a problem. Against a Forest side who caused Aston Villa plenty of problems on Saturday. Daryl Murphy could have had a hat-trick, he had plenty of chances, he did score a goal, and I think he'll be their main threat going forward tonight. Obviously they've got like Barry Mackay, I think is not fit, I'm not too sure, if he's fit he could cause problems. So they've got Ben Osborne, he impressed from the bench Saturday as well, so they've got plenty of players who could cause Fulham problems. And I do think if we don't turn up and play to our best, which we haven't done this year, and we need to start doing it soon, then we won't win. We've got two big games coming up, one on Friday night in front of the TV as well, which we'll get onto in a future video. So we need to try and kickstart our season here. And I think I'm not trying to be biased here, but I do think we'll win 2-1. I think we've got plenty. I think we've got to start winning at some point, and it'll be a tight game for us to play really well. But I think we'll just have enough to win 2-1. So into the next game, it's Millwall at home to Reading. And I could see Millwall getting a point in this game. I think Reading come unstuck against the lesser teams. They haven't started well at all. They're down the bottom of the table, in and around that bottom drop zone part of the table. They're struggling to perform this year. Obviously, point against Hull on Saturday. Could have been 3 for Luke. I'd put the ball in the back of the net from 5 yards. And I do think Millwall, they've got a good result up at Preston. They'll be delighted with that against a freely attacking side. And I think they could win this game, you know. I'm going to go with 2-0 Millwall. I think they're going to come out of that game against Preston. They've got a good clean sheet there, solid defensively. I do think they'll go on and win this game. Let's go into our penultimate game of the Championship. This is the Wednesday night games. There's 2 Wednesday night games. Birmingham at home to Sheffield Wednesday. I'm going to go over home winning this game. I do think Birmingham will be in the better form of the two sides. Obviously, Sheffield Wednesday just lost their big Still City derby, although they'll want to prove a point and try and bounce back. So it'll all be dependent on how they react. So I'm going to go over Birmingham 2, Sheffield Wednesday 1. And our final game of the Championship is Sheffield United versus Wolves. This will be a fantastic game. Two very good sides like to play good attacking football. Both doing really well at the moment at the table. In the promotion and playoff positions at the moment as well. And this is probably going to be a draw, I think. Both sides won't want to lose this game. There'll be plenty of goals. I'm going over 2-2 draw. So moving on to League One, we've got a full programme in League One as well. Kicking off with Blackburn, they host Rotherham tonight. Rotherham scored a lot of goals. They scored a lot of goals at home. Big 5-1 win at Oldham on Saturday at home as well. Puts them into 8th position in the Championship. Obviously, they've got a top scorer, Kiefer Moore, in the League One. He scored 8 goals this season. They're looking good. They score a lot of goals. A couple of defensive frailties against a Blackburn side who didn't play too well against Shrewsbury. They're very inconsistent this year. They're ninth or 10th at the moment in the table. They could do with a win to kick on again. They've got enough quality in their team to kick on. It's just a case of when they will. I think this will be a home win, 2-1. I think Blackburn have a lot to test Rotherham's offensive issues, and I do see Rotherham scoring. However, I do see them conceding 2 goals and Blackburn winning this game. Coming to the next game, it's Blackpool at home to Rochdale. I think this has got draw written all over it. Both managers, Gary Bowyer and Keith Hill, are very good managers. They're probably just going to be quite a tight, cagey game, I think. Both, obviously, Rochdale a good win at Gillingham Saturday. Blackpool lost 3-1, at Bristol Rovers. They'll want to try and consolidate, I think, with a draw, and I think this will be a point. I think it'll be a 1-1. Both sides can score. Both teams not too bad defensively, and it's just got draw written all over it for me. Let's go on to our next game. It's Bradford versus Fleetwood. This will be a good game. Two teams who are eyeing up promotion places. Fleetwood haven't hit the high notes so far of last season. Started well, having a bit of a mid-season wobble. A couple of defeats along the road, a few bumps in the road as well. Against the Bradford side who are looking very well at the moment, getting these good results, these narrow wins, which is what you need. And I could see this is also a repeat of last season's playoff semi-final. So obviously Fleetwood won a bit of revenge maybe for what Bradford did, and they knocked them out obviously the playoffs last season. And I do think that this will be a Bradford win. I think I'm going to go for 3-1 Bradford win. They got a bit too much in hand for me for Fleetwood, who are on a bit of a downward spiral at the moment. Let's go into our next game. It's Bury at home to Oxford. Bury got a good point chart on Saturday. That's definitely a step in the right direction. Obviously Beckford scored an absolute worldie. That's what they needed as well on the road against a good team who got a good home record. Obviously Oxford, a couple of shock defeats away to Blackpool. They lost 3-1. At home to Walsall, they followed up with another defeat there, 2-1. So they need to start getting some results going if they really want to try and press for these top places. They can't lose ground behind the playoff group, because once you lose ground in the playoff group, it's very hard to catch up, because them teams seem to pull away and seem to basically cut adrift from you get the top 12 and you get your from 12th to 8th tend to cut adrift, and you get your top 6 going up as well. So Oxford, if they want to do well, they need to stay in that pack, and they could do a win here. And I think they'll win here. It'll be a tight game. I think they'll just nick it 2-1. So going to our next game, it's Doncaster Shrewsbury. Obviously Shrewsbury still going unbeaten. Only team unbeaten in the EFL, as I've said before. Draw against Blackburn Saturday's not too bad. They should look at this hopefully and try and get a win against a Doncaster side who got a good win Saturday at Plymouth, 3-0 there. They'll be in good form, and now Shrewsbury, the team to be shot at. Everyone wants to try and take their unbeaten record and say we're the only team who've beaten them this year. They want something to say, and it's just I think it's be another draw. I think it'll be a 1-1 draw. Both sides are in good form at the moment, and it'll be a tough one, and it'll be a 1-1 draw. So to the next game, Gillingham Scunthorpe. So away win for me this one. Obviously managerless Gillingham. They parted company with Adi Pennock yesterday, and rightly so as well. Results weren't going well. The team's not got good enough quality to stay in this division, I don't think, and they're going to suffer, and I think they're going to lose 4-0. So to the next game, MK Dons versus Northampton. Obviously Northampton on a bit of a slide now. The honeymoon period for Hasselbank's over. He's had a couple of defeats, however, he's the right man still for the job, obviously. And against the MK Dons side, they're doing well. Big win against Wimbledon Saturday in their local derby as well, looking to try and kick on. And I think Northampton will go there, and I think they'll win. I think they're good on the road, they score goals, they've got a good manager who knows his league well, and I think they'll just nick it 2-0. Going to our next game, Oldham versus Peterborough. Obviously managerless Oldham as well. John Sheridan, he got sacked yesterday as well after a poor run of defeats, culminating in a 5-1 at Rotherham Saturday. Against the Peterborough side, they've done well to beat a very good Wigan side. Haven't lost many games this year. Junior Marais scored 2 goals in that game. He's looking good up front for the Posh this season. Forming a good partnership with Jack Marriott. And I do think they'll win this game. I think they're in good form at the moment, and a managerless Oldham side without any real leadership will come unstuck. And I'm going to go with a 3-1 Peterborough win. So on to our next game, Pompey versus Bristol Rovers. Both teams who have not really hit much form this year, predicted to finish in the top echelons of the League One table this year. Both can, if they put their minds to it, can do really well and achieve well this year. And it's just got a draw written all over it for me, I think. If Pompey do score lots of goals, bit inconsistent as well, similar to Bristol Rovers. Both sides inconsistent, can score goals, can concede, and I do think it'll be a 1-1 draw. So on to our next game, it is a Southend home to AFC Wimbledon. I'm going to go over home winning this game, although AFC Wimbledon haven't done too badly on their travels. They've come narrowly close, obviously beat Blackburn on their travels, lost their main game against Wimbledon on Friday night. And against Southend side, who got a fantastic win up at Fleetwood Saturday, 4-2 win there. And I do fancy them to kick on and win 2-0. So on to our penultimate game of League One. Walsall at home to Charlton. Walsall, big result up at Oxford, fantastic result. What they needed as well to bounce back after a couple of shoddy defeats. And Charlton, they're not doing too bad. A point at home to Bury was not what they wanted, really. They came close to winning the game at the end. McGuinness had a header that was narrowly saved from Joe Murphy at the end. That could have been 3 points. They got a point in the end, so they'll be trying to look on to try and press and try and win this game. And I think Walsall will win this 2-1. I think a fantastic result at Oxford's going to kick-start their season, and I think they'll go and follow up here. So on to our last game of League One tonight. Wigan at home to Plymouth Argyle. Home win for me. Plymouth are struggling for form, second from bottom in the League One table, maybe bottom, I can't remember, not too sure really. They're struggling for form. Disciplinary records all 4 at home, 4 red cards in the last 4 games. They can't keep their heads. I don't think Graham Carey's back yet from suspension. They're going to miss him a lot. Crucial player for them, and I do think Wigan, narrow defeat at Peterborough Saturday, will bounce back to winning ways and win 2-0. So going into our League 2, full programme in League 2, and then run through all the fixtures. Cambridge United home to Forest Green Rovers. Home win for me, 2-0. Cambridge narrowly defeated at Mansfield, unlucky with the penalty as well. I watched the penalty on the replay. Hayden White tripped over his own 2 feet. Referee gave it stupidly. No Cambridge player stuck a leg out. It was a harsh penalty. Full unluckily saved it as well. Went in off the post. Leon Legg scored 2 goals in this month as well. He's looking good from set pieces against the Forest Green Rovers side, who marking zonally from set pieces on Friday night against Swindon was awful. Left too many gaps at the back. Should have been beaten by more goals. And I do think Cambridge will win this game, 2-0. On to our next game, Carlisle Stevenage. Carlisle, let's start with them. Big win up at Crewe Saturday, 5-0. Fantastic result for them. They're looking like to try and kick on now. They've got a couple of good wins now. Momentum starting to build for Keith Kelsey. A playoff push could look more likely for them this year again. Against Stevenage side, they're doing good as well. Good win against Morecambe Saturday. Scoring goals, Carl Wotton's got his first goal for them, coming on loan from Scunthorpe as well. And I do think this will be a draw. Both sides can score, both sides can let in goals. It's got a draw, 2-2 for me. So on to this game, next one, Cheltenham-Mansfield. Mansfield, big result against Cambridge. Bit fortunate too, but in this league, if you get a bit of luck, that all helps as well. Against the Cheltenham side, too, not doing too bad. Drew, I think, at Accrington Stanley Saturday. Mohamed Isa scored a wonderful overhead kick. He took that really well, looking like a good signing for them. But I think against a side like Mansfield, who've got very good quality, they're going to come unstuck and lose 3-0. So to our next game, managerless Chesterfield host Yeovil. Bit of a relegation scrap again. These teams occupying relegation positions, just hovering above Chesterfield. Managerless as well. Looking for a new manager. So without that leadership, they're going to lack, I think. I do think they're going to have enough just to hold Yeovil, who are a struggling side. They don't seem to create much. They drew with Port Vale Saturday, and I do think it'll be a Chesterfield 2, Yeovil 1. Let's go on to our next game, Crawley-Newport. Crawley, fantastic win at Barnet Saturday. 2 good goals from Jimmy Smith as well. A nice finish and a header as well. They played some nice stuff down there against Barnet. Well worked. Both goals were well worked. The first one was lovely. Newport were in good form as well. They won at the weekend against Grimsby. Podrick Ammons, he scored a goal. So this will be a good game. And I do fancy Newport to win this game. As much as I think Crawley are playing well at the moment, Newport flying, I do think they're going to have enough in hand to turn over Crawley, 2-0. So to the next game, Exeter Notts County. Exeter looking a good. This is a fantastic promotion, early contender already. Both sides, I think they're first and second in League Two table. Both looking to get automatic promotion this year. Notts County, big win against Lincoln on Saturday. Fantastic. George Grant playing well. Matt Tootle, probably the weirdest celebration I've ever seen. Exeter slipped up at Coventry Saturday, 2-0. They want to try and address that against a fellow promotion rival. I do fancy Notts County to go and win this game. They're in fantastic form, scoring plenty of goals, got some fantastic players in form as well, and I think they'll win 3-1. So on to the next game, it's Grimsby versus Colchester United. This is going to be a draw for me. Both sides are in the best of form. Both sides did lose at the weekend, and I think it'll be a boring 0-0 draw. So on to our next game, Lincoln Barnet. Lincoln, big 4-1 defeat at Notts County. Unfortunate to go down to 10 men through Billy Knott's high foot. Barnet narrowly defeated as well against the Crawley on Saturday. And I do think Lincoln will bounce back and win 2-0. So the next game is Morecambe versus Luton. Luton, I think, will win this away. They've got enough quality there against the Morecambe side. They will not be able to cope with their quality. They've got some good players themselves, but I think they're going to struggle this year. Not in the best of form at the moment either. And an away 3-0 win. Let's go on to our next game. Port Vale Accrington. I do fancy a home win. I think Port Vale got to win sometime. I think this will be the time to win. Chris Morgan's in charge, the ex-Sheffield United centre-half. He's in interim charge at the moment. Not a bad point down at Yeovil on Saturday. Tom Pope getting his first goal. And I think Accrington will come close. Good, a solid point at Cheltenham Saturday. Obviously, Caden Jackson scoring goals for them as well. So this will be a away win for me. I think Port Vale will have enough in hand. 2-1. It's going to our penultimate game, Swindon Coventry. I'm going to go with an away win in this game. I don't trust Swindon's home form. Good result on the road Saturday against Forest Green. Their little local derby. Good win there. Matt Taylor and Ollie Lancashire scoring both the goals. However, their home form's been terrible this season. And I think against a quality Coventry side, they've got a good win against a very good Exeter side. Coventry will carry this on and win 2-1. And our final game of our preview tonight is Wycombe versus Crewe. And I'm going to go with a home win because I think Wycombe are playing good football at the moment. Good result against Colchester Saturday against the Crewe side who have fell apart recently. Got a big defeat against Carlisle 5-0 Saturday, and I think they're just in a bad bit of form at the moment and will lose 2-0. So there you go, guys. There are my across all three divisions, my fixture previews and my score predictions. So if you hopefully hit a like, subscribe if you're new. We'll be back Thursday with our roundups of all three. We don't do an upload on a Wednesday, and if you hopefully like, subscribe, and we'll see you on Thursday. Thank you. Bye bye.